The future of work isn't man versus machine. It's man with machine. You've probably heard people panic. AI is going to steal our jobs. It's going to replace us. But let me tell you something different. The truth is, the jobs of tomorrow will be built on something called human AI symbiosis. That's just a fancy way of saying we work better together. Now, don't let that word scare you off. Symbiosis. Fun fact, in biology, it describes a partnership where two different organisms live together and both benefit. Think of the clownfish and the sea anemone. The fish gets protection, the anemone gets cleaned. Neither could thrive without the other. Humans and AI are about to enter that same kind of partnership in the workplace. Happy Deep Dive Saturday! I'm Imani, your career coach. My mission is simple: to help you rise above the noise, stand out above the rest, and build the skills that matter in this new AI era so you can land not just a job, but the right job. And I do it without pressure, without lectures, and with a whole lot of clarity and fun facts along the way. So today, let's break down the future of work in a way that makes sense to you, whether you're a student, a professional, or someone returning to the workforce. We're going to explore how humans and AI can team up, not just to survive, but to create new levels of wealth, opportunity, and freedom. Here's the thing. Tools have always changed the game. The wheel changed how we moved. The printing press changed how we shared ideas. Computers changed how we processed information. Every leap in history gave humans more reach, more speed, more power. But AI is different because it doesn't just extend our muscles or our memory, it extends our thinking. Think about that for a moment. For the first time in history, we have a tool that can analyze, predict, generate, and even suggest. It's not just a calculator waiting for instructions. It's more like a co-pilot that looks ahead, scans the terrain, and says, "Hey, here's the best route." Now, I know what you might be thinking. If AI can think, then what's left for us? Here's your fun fact. Every major study from Deloitte to the World Economic Forum shows that the highest demand skills of the future aren't about coding faster or memorizing data. They're about creativity, leadership, empathy, and problem solving. Why? Because those are the things AI can't fake. Picture this. In healthcare, AI can scan thousands of x-rays in seconds, spotting the tiniest patterns. But it can't sit with a family, hold their hand, and say, "I understand your fear. Here's what we'll do together." In finance, AI can crunch decades of market data and suggest a trend, but it can't build trust with a client who needs reassurance before investing their savings. In marketing, AI can generate 100 ad variations, but it can't feel the pulse of culture the way a human storyteller does. That's the future of work. Not replacement, but partnership. And if you're a job seeker, that should make you breathe a little easier. Because what companies are hunting for right now are people who know how to work with AI, not run from it. So how do you start building that partnership? Step 1 is mindset. You've got to shift from fear to curiosity. Fear says, AI is coming from my role. Curiosity asks, how can AI help me do my role better, faster, and smarter? Here's a fun fact you can share in your next interview. McKinsey found that more than 60% of occupations already have at least 1/3 of their activities that could be automated. But instead of eliminating jobs, AI is changing what those jobs look like. That's why I say the future isn't man versus machine. It's man with machine. Now, let's dig into how this actually plays out. Think of AI not as a boss, but as a teammate. A teammate that never sleeps, never forgets, and processes more information than you could in a lifetime. Imagine you're a teacher. AI can analyze how each student learns and create custom study plans in minutes. But you, the teacher, are the one who motivates, inspires, and guides them. That's human plus AI symbiosis in action. Or picture yourself as a project manager. AI can track risks, monitor timelines, and even flag budget issues before they explode. But you're still the one leading the team, reading the room, and keeping people motivated when deadlines get tough. Again, symbiosis. And if you're in customer service, AI chatbots can answer routine questions instantly, 24/7. But when a customer is frustrated or needs empathy, you step in. That balance between efficiency and humanity is what makes the customer experience unforgettable. See the pattern? AI doesn't erase you, it amplifies you. So let me pause and ask you this. Are you willing to see AI as your partner instead of your competitor? Because that one shift in perspective is what separates those who thrive in the AI era from those who get left behind. Now let's get practical. If you're a job seeker, you might be wondering, okay, Imani, this all sounds inspiring, but how does symbiosis show up in my life? Here's the reality. Symbiosis is already in your pocket. Every time you use an app to track your spending, every time Spotify builds you a playlist, every time Google Maps reroutes you to avoid traffic, you're already in a human AI partnership. You just didn't call it that. But here's the part nobody is telling you. Employers are watching to see if you can bring that same mindset to your career. Cake resumes. AI tools are scanning them before a human ever sees them. That means keywords, structure, and clarity matter more than ever. But does that mean you let ChatGPT write your whole resume for you? No. That's dependence, not symbiosis. The winning move is to let AI analyze your resume, show you what's missing, then you rewrite it in your own authentic voice. That way, you've got the best of both worlds. Efficiency from AI, authenticity from you. Same thing with interviews. You can practice with AI-driven platforms. For example, videoassessment.org, where you get real feedback on tone, eye contact, and delivery through actual video interviews. But the real win comes when you take that practice and show up as your unique self, whether it's in person, virtual, or remote. AI helped polish your delivery, but you bring the passion, the stories, the spark. Here's a fun fact. According to Indeed's 2024 hiring report, over 80% of employers say video interviews are now a standard part of their process. That means being camera ready isn't optional anymore. And when you combine practice with AI plus your natural human energy, that's the definition of symbiosis. Now let's zoom out into industries. In healthcare, AI can flag early risks in patient data. But nurses and doctors deliver the bedside care. In finance, AI predicts fraud, but human analysts explain to regulators and clients what it means. In education, AI adapts lessons to each student's learning style, but teachers still guide the jury. Here's what all these examples are showing us. Job seekers don't need to master everything AI does. AI is built from your data, your knowledge, and your creativity. That means you're not working for AI. AI is working for you, working alongside you. The real skill is knowing how to direct it, guide it, and then layer your unique human value on top. That's how you move from being replaceable to being irreplaceable. But let's be honest, there are pitfalls. And if you want to avoid getting left behind, you've got to recognize them now. The first pitfall is over-reliance. Some job seekers think AI will do it all for me. They copy AI-generated cover letters word for word, or they let an AI chatbot answer interview questions. Employers see right through that. Because while AI can mimic language, it can't mimic lived experience. The second pitfall is avoidance. These are the people who say, I don't like AI, so I'm not going to use it. But let me be clear, avoidance is not protection. Avoidance is putting yourself on the wrong side of history. The companies hiring right now are expecting at least basic AI literacy, even if it's just using AI to summarize reports or brainstorm ideas. And the third pitfall? Misunderstanding the balance. Too many people treat AI like a magician instead of a tool. They think AI is supposed to replace effort. But the real winners are the ones who understand that AI is meant to amplify effort. It's there to give you leverage, not to do your thinking for you. So, what's the resolution? Build what I call symbiosis skills. That means experimenting with AI tools, staying adaptable as your industry changes, learning how to translate AI results into human value, and doubling down on uniquely human traits like empathy and creativity. Here's the fun part. Every time you practice this balance, you make yourself more future-proof. Because you're not just another job seeker hoping AI won't take your role. You make yourself more future-proof. You're the job seeker who knows how to partner with AI to create a stronger role. That's the candidate companies want to hire. So let's talk about what it really takes to build these symbiosis skills. Because this is where most job seekers get stuck. They either dabble in AI with no clear plan, or they avoid it altogether. But if you can start layering these skills now, you'll set yourself apart in ways that most people won't even think about. The first skill is experimentation. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Download a free AI writing tool. Try an AI job board. Ask ChatGPT to analyze a job description. Play with the technology the same way we once played with calculators, computers, or smartphones. Fun fact: when the first personal computers came out in the 1980s, most people ignored them. It was the curious ones who became tomorrow's IT managers, software developers, and CEOs. Today, curiosity is your competitive edge. The second skill is adaptability. Job descriptions are changing faster than textbooks. A marketing assistant today might be expected to analyze AI-generated reports tomorrow. A healthcare administrator might need to manage AI scheduling software next year. The job titles aren't disappearing. They're evolving. And if you show employers you can evolve with them, you're priceless. The third skill is translation. This one is underrated, but it will make or break your career. It's not enough to say, I use AI. Anyone can say that. What employers want to hear is, how does your use of AI create real business value? For example, instead of saying, I use AI to analyze data, say, I use AI to cut down a 4-hour report into 20 minutes so I could spend more time on strategy and customer relationships. See the difference? One is a task. The other is a result. Translation is what makes you sound like a problem solver instead of just a tool user. And the fourth skill, the most important one, is doubling down on what makes you human. Empathy, creativity, leadership, communication. The things no algorithm can replace because they come from your lived experience your cultural background, your imagination. That's why AI is working alongside you, not instead of you. It can handle the patterns, but it can't dream. It can predict, but it can't care. It can calculate, but it can't connect. That's your domain. Here's a fun fact to drive it home. The World Economic Forum predicts that 44% of workers' core skills will change in the next 5 years. Not disappear, change. Which means the real opportunity isn't in clinging to the past. It's in learning how to evolve your skill set to meet the future. So let's make it practical. If you're updating your resume, don't just list proficient in Excel. That's table stakes. Instead, say combined Excel with AI analytics to speed up financial reporting. If you're preparing for an interview, don't just memorize questions. Use AI to practice, then show how you improved with each round. And if you're starting a side hustle, use AI to handle the repetitive tasks so you can focus on the vision and the customer experience. This is how you start turning AI from a buzzword into a career advantage. You're not competing with AI. You're proving you know how to guide it, direct it, and then amplify the result with your human value. That's what employers are desperate to find right now. Now let's get real for a moment. Because while AI working alongside us sounds exciting, there are pitfalls that can trip up even the best job seekers. And if you don't spot them early, they can quietly sabotage your career. The first pitfall is over-reliance. This is when someone leans on AI so heavily that their own skills start to atrophy. You've seen it. The cover letters that all sound the same because they were copied straight from ChatGPT. The interview answers that feel robotic, like the person is reciting instead of connecting. Fun fact: hiring managers can spot that in seconds. And here's the twist: it doesn't just make you look lazy, it makes you forgettable. So, how do you flip that? Use AI for structure, but bring your own stories. Let AI remind you of the STAR method, but you bring the moment you saved a project at midnight or led a team through chaos. That's how you stand out. The second pitfall is avoidance. Some people are so afraid of making mistakes with AI that they avoid it completely. They say, I'll just do things the old way. But let me tell you, the old way is vanishing. Ooh, employers aren't impressed by resistance. They're impressed by adaptability. If you avoid AI now, you're basically handing the future to someone else. So what's the flip? Start small. Use AI to summarize an article. Use it to draft interview questions. Use it to polish your LinkedIn profile. No one's asking you to be a programmer. They're asking you to be literate. AI literacy is the new computer literacy. Remember when people said, I don't need email, I'll just stick to facts? Yeah, we know how that story ended. The third pitfall is misunderstanding the balance. People think AI is supposed to be the star of the show. But let's get this straight. AI is the supporting actor. You are the lead. AI can speed things up, but it cannot define your vision. AI can analyze, but it cannot decide your values. AI can predict, but it cannot persuade. Here's how you flip that. Position yourself as the director, the one calling the shots, the one saying, here's what we're building, here's how AI helps me do it better. Employers don't want passive AI users. They want confident leaders who can point AI in the right direction. And let me give you one more pitfall. Thinking AI will erase competition. Some people imagine AI as a magical equalizer, that if everyone has the same tools, Everyone will succeed equally, but here's the truth. Tools don't create winners. Habits do. Give two people the same AI app. One uses it to shortcut effort, the other uses it to accelerate growth. Which one wins? Always the one with discipline. Fun fact, Thomas Edison said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. AI doesn't erase the work, it reshapes it. The people who win are the ones who embrace the new kind of work with excitement instead of fear. So, let's flip the entire conversation. Instead of asking, will AI replace me? Ask, how do I become the kind of human that AI can never replace, but always supports? That's the mindset shift that turns pitfalls into power moves. Remember this, AI is not the competition. AI is the amplifier. The question is not whether AI is working, it's whether you're working with it. Let me show you how human AI symbiosis actually looks when real people put it into practice. Because theory is good, but stories stick. Picture this, a young nurse, fresh out of school. She's nervous because she's walking into a hospital system that feels overwhelming. AI is running in the background, scanning patient charts, predicting which patients need urgent care, even flagging early signs of disease. At first, she wonders, will this replace me? But then she sees the truth. AI doesn't hold a patient's hand. It doesn't explain test results with compassion. It doesn't catch the subtle look of fear in a patient's eyes. She does. AI handles the pattern recognition, but she delivers the humanity. That's symbiosis. And she realizes her job isn't disappearing. It's transforming into something stronger. Now imagine a mid-career project manager. He's been managing teams for a decade. Deadlines, budgets, risks, all the heavy stuff. Suddenly, his company introduces an AI platform that tracks risks automatically and sends predictive alerts before problems blow up. At first, he feels threatened. If AI can do this, what do they need me for? But then he sees the flip. AI can monitor the data, but it can't rally a team. It can't calm tempers in a meeting. It can't inspire a burnt-out group to push through one last sprint. He realizes AI just freed him from babysitting spreadsheets so he can focus on leadership. That's symbiosis. And let's talk about a job seeker, someone laid off after 10 years in retail. She feels lost. She doesn't have a tech background, but she decides to experiment. She uses AI to analyze her resume, highlight transferable skills, and reframe her experience in customer service as customer experience strategy. She practices with AI interview simulators until her confidence grows. And then she discovers something powerful. The empathy and people skills she's built in retail are still valuable. AI just helped her translate them into a language employers understand. Within months, she lands a job in HR operations. That's symbiosis. Fun fact, researchers at MIT found that workers who used AI to help with writing tasks were 37% faster and produced work rated 20% higher in quality. But here's the kicker. The biggest boost went to the people who were least skilled at writing before. Why? Because AI lifted their baseline, giving them the confidence to focus on ideas instead of structure. That's proof that AI isn't just for experts. It's a boost for anyone willing to try. Here's another story. A Gen Z graphic designer starting out. She uses AI tools to generate layouts, color schemes, and mood boards in minutes. But she doesn't stop there. She uses those as a springboard for her own creativity. Her human touch, the way she understands culture, trends, humor, that's what makes her portfolio stand out. When she goes into interviews, she doesn't say, AI did this for me. She says, AI gave me a base. But here's how I elevated it. Employers eat that up. See the theme? AI isn't replacing roles, it's reshaping them. It's working alongside humans, amplifying their strengths, filling the gaps, and letting people focus on what matters most. But only for those who are willing to lean in. But only for those who are willing to lean in. Now, here's the question for you as a job seeker. What's your story going to be? When an employer asks, how have you worked with AI? Will you shrink? Or will you smile and say, let me show you how AI works alongside me to make me even better? That's the kind of answer that makes a recruiter's eyes light up. Because you're not just another applicant. You're the future of work, sitting right in front of them. And here's the truth you need to carry with you after today. The future of work isn't waiting 10 years down the road. It's already here. Human AI symbiosis is happening right now in hospitals, classrooms, offices, studios, and interview rooms. And the people who win in this new era aren't the ones who resist it. They're the ones who embrace it. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to see AI not as your rival, but as your ally? Are you willing to say, yes, AI is powerful, but my creativity, my empathy, my lived experience are irreplaceable? Because if you can answer that, you've already separated yourself from most job seekers. Fun fact, every single advancement in history, from electricity to the internet, created fear before it created freedom. People said the light bulb would blind us. They said the radio would ruin society. They said the internet was a fad. And yet, here we are. Those who adapted thrived. Those who resisted faded. AI is no different. Here's the message I want you to take into every application, every resume, every interview. AI doesn't replace me. It amplifies me. It works alongside me. It magnifies my ideas, my productivity, my value. But it cannot replace my humanity. So if you're sitting here worried about whether your job will survive, I want you to flip that script. Instead of asking, will AI take my job? Ask, how will AI transform my job into something bigger, better, and more meaningful? That's the question employers want to hear you answer. That's the question that makes you unforgettable. Remember, you are the origin. AI is the amplifier. You provide the creativity, the heart, the spark. AI provides the speed, the patterns, the scale. Together, that's not just survival, that's thriving. So the next time you sit down to update your resume, to practice for an interview, or to learn a new skill, I want you to whisper this to yourself. I am not competing with AI. I am co-creating the future with it. And that's the truth. The future of work isn't AI replacing humans. It's AI working alongside humans. And if you step into that partnership now, you won't just have a career, you'll have a future. Thank you for joining me on this Deep Dive Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend who needs encouragement, and visit videoassessment.org to get early access to practice your AI era interview skills. And as always, rise above the noise, stand out above the rest, and get ready to thrive in the future of work. The future is waiting for you, and it's brighter than you think. I'll see you tomorrow.